true villain up in here.
I know. Well, now I know who to root for. Like,
It makes it a lot easier now.
Like, oh, he just deleted John. Like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then they deleted Danny? Oh, no.
Anyway, speaking of war crimes, we have Jigglypuff with a lot of these draw rush combos that Chaz has practiced a lot. And Jonathan, it's going to be a literally big uphill battle just because he's going to get hit by a lot of these dares. And Jigglypuff has that airspeed to just push Jonathan out as much as possible.
Yes, it is. Jonathan not really having the resources there. Just kind of praying that Chaz might overstep into this down air. I know this is something they've played so much.
They have played. I remember
there's a long period of time where their seeds just kind of worked out where Jonathan would play Chaz like round 3 almost every time, like right before winter semis.
I think I remember being at the Smashing Dreams where Jonathan finally took a tournament over Chaz, and it was a very emotional one. And
oh, absolutely. Jonathan's a very emotional, or sorry, JKsonic's a very emotional player in general. You know, he just really wears his heart on his sleeves. It's very fun to watch him play, but it can also be such a stressful time. That said, I mean, he's not looking too bad here. Like, yes, he lost that stock early, but that's kind of what you expect in a matchup we're going to get as started. But taking that stock and only taking 40 damage.
Yeah, honestly, he's able to make this back just fine. He just has to make sure he keeps that center stage, stay low to the ground, and avoid not being dragged off stage. And playing this very calm, because that's what Jigglypuff is going to want to do in this scenario against Belmont. He's going to try to push you off to the stage with the air, and just like that, you want to be very cautious about any back airs or nairs that could be hit as you're tethering back.
And I think what's going to be important in this game is not the percent, but the momentum, you know, from each stock to stock. Like, depending on how a stock gets taken and depending on how the player adjusts, it matters so much. Like, it matters in almost every set, you know, of course. But, like, for a matchup like this, percent really isn't going to matter. Jigglypuff is so light, they can just die to almost anything. And Richter just gets edge guarded. They're so frail on that recovery.
Really scary up B right there. Was trying to do an out of shield option, but he could have easily got bared right there. And good spacing on Jonathan's end, doing the backdash into the forward tilt to be able to live a little bit longer, using the forward air to push Puff off stage, and using that cross to try to momentum.
That's the chair dodge right there. We love coining that term for Chaz.
Alright, you see Jonathan holding onto that stage for very long, but that back throw is going to push him off once again in the nair. Just because that extended percent is going to be very unfortunate. Jonathan, on his final stock of this game 1, he easily is able to take the stock away just right now thanks to that up smash. So it's a clean slate, but still a very scary situation you're in.
Yes.
Especially since Chaz is able to just crouch between
underneath those crosses, right? That's such a big game-changing thing, because not only do you have to worry about those aerial approaches anyways, because Richter does have great stuff to call it jumps, but it's very committal, you know. They have to be very precise with their options. But having that extra dimension of just being able to crouch underneath Richter's options is huge in the mix-up. Oh, it's in there. Oh, not going to get in there. Did I say that? It's interrupted.
Nice dash attack into the forward tilt. Chaz at 100%. This is looking really good for Jonathan. Just needs to stay calm and not get any carried away, because you can just have one bad strain that could be the very end of the stock.
I mean, you see Cannon going for that up air right now, like just on his shield and also in combos, just looking for that up air rest. And he knows we're taking stock.
Avoiding those back airs. I think Jonathan tried to go for that dare there, but the nair's going to push it right out. Chaz able to leave and leave a stronger
Doesn't
lead.
get anything,
this is
though.
getting very scary as Chaz is closing up that percent.
That's that stock.
Good up smash from Jonathan taking that game 1.
That first game, yeah. Honestly, one thing I was going to mention, but I didn't get the chance, was Jonathan was just able to close it out. Was that as we were talking, it started off where Jonathan was really far behind. He didn't take too much damage, but he was, you know, the momentum was not in his favor, and then he just slowly clawed his way back until he got 2 holy water up smashes in a row.
Like you mentioned, these guys have played so many times. Jonathan knows exactly what Chaz is wanting, and kind of forgot about it. I can't think of the last time they played, so he had to kind of mentally scale back and be like,
himself,
okay,
you know?
calm down. This is how I need to play against this Puff.
Right.
But now we have a new challenge. There's
Sora.
no Puff on the screen. This is, as many people in Oklahoma know, Chaz commonly plays 2 characters.
The alternate. You know,
he
between
Jigglypuff
just
and
like
Sora.
And like he does it for many reasons. It's like, you know, he loves learning characters.
I mean, I know he mainly picked up Sora because Kingdom Hearts 2 is his favorite game of all time, but coincidentally the playstyle was able to fit
Transits
in
pretty
really
well.
because of the floatiness he already plays.
It's the mix of, it's a floaty character and it's a labbing character. The way he plays Puff is not like base mage or like the other Puff players. He is a huge lab. Not to say that the others aren't.
He is the Puff
but,
that
like,
holds forward.
Exactly. He's the Puff that holds forward and just Kazuya puffs you. And Sora has that with his Nair. Like, you watch like really top level Sora players like Rockio, I believe how you say the tag, the French Sora. It's that same deal where they just slowly are this moving bulwark forward and getting you with these Nair combos. And we have another Sora here in Oklahoma. Normac unfortunately wasn't able to make it out to this, but Cannon Red holding it down for the Soras, getting that first stock once again.
Yeah, that win percent for Sora is not going to be one that will be a 0 percentile win rate, hopefully.
This time around. And you see that up B out of shield. So that's one thing I noticed in the Puff game is that, like you said, like they played each other so much. Jonathan knows exactly when, or so JKsonic knows exactly when Cannon Red is going to be like safe or not safe. Like we saw, like there's a downer that Cannon Red got on his Puff that honestly, to the naked eye or like to anyone like unaware, it looked like it was something that he could have up B that shield. But Jonathan knew that's what Chaz wanted, and so he waited patiently in that shield, didn't give Cannon the option, the up B. But there we saw it, he immediately up B out of shield the second he got hit, and was immediately punished there. And now taking that first stock finally after taking 68%.
Yeah, still in a very bad position as Sora, unlike Puff, has a really good way to counter a lot of this zoning stuff that Jonathan's really wanting, and being able to have that Keyblade as a way to get disjoints out is going to be a lot harder for Jonathan to be able to take it as it would as compared to fighting Puff. And you can see him having a lot of trouble as Chaz is able to go in deep, take away that jump, and ruin any of Jonathan's opportunity to make it back.
I think even if he had a jump there, that's such a rough spot to be in because Chaz, I'm pretty sure, is able to just wait there for the jump if he needs to.
That's the scary thing about Sora too. Like, similar to Puff, you're able to stay in the air for a really long time. So you can force yourself to just kind of push yourself and just purposely go for those ledge stalls. And you see it working, like he's baiting out the holy water and pushing and going back to stage and puts him in a good advantage state.
Oh, there's the combos. Richter also just that kind of weight where it just kind of works on him. There's not too much he can do to move out of that.
Jonathan's going to have to find a stock very immediately. Even though Sora is a lighter character, Jonathan's having a really hard time trying to find this kill, even harder than Puff.
I mean, Sora's heavier than Puff, so it's not too surprising that Cannon Red is able to live a little bit longer on this Sora.
He's heavier in the hurt box is a little bit different because obviously Jigglypuff's is like a circle.
It's a round ball. Oh my goodness, the Bazaga just taking that away, expertly edge guarded by Cannon Red. I think it was, what, 3 expert edge guards in different styles too.
We've seen the Nair, we've seen the forward air, we've seen, hell, heck, there are so many more options you could have done as well to be able to punish that. You could have done like a falling up air as well.
Right.
And he also tried to experiment with other options too to try to get it. Like, I know he tried the Fiagra, I know he tried Thundaga too.
Yep. Going to FD for game 3. 1-1, JKsonic Cannon Red.
Chaz is going to alternate back to that Jigglypuff too.
Yeah, I believe he's going to do that. I think part of it is because that's just kind of how he is. He loves
it is how
doing
he is, but
I think the other massive part of it is just that he wants to take away Jonathan's ability to adapt.
Yeah, we were watching earlier in some of these sets, and Chaz has been sticking with one character per game against most of these opponents, but Jonathan is not one of them.
I think we saw it earlier against this set against EO1, but EO1 being a Byleth player, I know very famously that Cannon Red has been losing to the Oklahoma Byleth, Pelechito, so he likely did not want to play that matchup anymore.
And I think one thing that also has been helping out, I know Chaz, they're going against Agent A, he went solo Puff, he didn't go Sora at all. And I think in his match against Risky Nerd, he went solo Puff as well.
I didn't get any of his other matches other than this one so far, or the EO1 set, so that's interesting to know. We're going to FD though, which I think is an interesting stage for Cannon Red. Or sorry, no, JKsonic stage. I think that's an interesting stage for JKsonic, but it does appear to be working out here.
It's not a bad one. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of it from Cannon Red, but he is known for having a lot of those drill rest confirms on the platforms. And so removing that option, being a little bit safer from avoiding any of those strings like that, is going to be a little helpful for Jonathan.
Right. I just know that Cannon Red does really like this stage normally. He's not the... I mean, Cannon is not the heaviest like counter picker when it comes to the stages and everything. He's usually down to kind of go like one stage over and over again and just kind of figure you out. But here we are at FD, and so far JKsonic still on the lead, but that might be the stock there.
That is definitely the stock there. I don't know if I agree with that up B scenario at all.
I don't think there's much else he could have done, because it was basically just 50-50, and he was kind of relying on Chaz to mess up there. But right now, Chaz got him in the classic combo, but doesn't actually extend it past that, but does find another opening.
Yeah, I like how Chaz is sticking to that middle ground platform. He doesn't really want to like force himself going up or low against Jonathan, and that's
I thought it was an SD. I think he made it back, but it doesn't matter.
He made it back, but Chaz still was able to get that down air and kill him off anyways.
Punish him for that mistake. On top of that, like, what sucks is to make up for that almost SD, he had to burn his jump. So once Cannon got that hit, he was kind of it. He was Richter with no jump all the way out there in the bottom.
Exactly, and that's going to be a huge mentality break if he's not able to make it back.
Up throw up air, going to take it. It's 0-0. I mean, this is basically the same as last game. Or, sorry, the first Puff game.
Yeah. I think Jonathan can still make it back, but
there
this is
again.
Also going to be a big mentality scenario where you know Chad's going to switch back to that Sora on that game 4.
Right.
And so it's going to be one of those things where where Jonathan's going to want to consider, because that Sora game was not doing well, and you want to get all these games. You want to get as much game wins as you can before a very likely game 5.
Right. And I mean, right now it's already looking so much in JKsonic's favor.
He just has to make sure he sticks to that center stage and not be able to make any chokes.
But like I said, I think this is not necessarily a game, at least in this matchup, it's not really a game of percents, it's a game of momentum. And JKsonic really needs to keep stifling Cannon Reddit's momentum here. Otherwise, he's one edge guard away at all times.
Yeah. That back air is going to connect, but it is one of the sour spots, and Chaz is going to push him a little bit off.
Ledge.
Good air dodge from JKsonic, and the forward tilt's going to push Chaz off. You notice how Jonathan isn't really using a lot of ooh.
I was going to say he didn't get hit by that jump back holy water, but it still kind of caught him even though after bouncing off the shield. In a really tough spot now for JK. Gets it up B.
Oh, that was a really good save.
Oh.
This is looking very intense.
It's so tense right now that F tilt not going to do it. Back air also not going to do it. The down air not going to connect. And Red being very patient and shield. The forward throw. This might be it. Doesn't hit him on the jump.
Oh,
hits him
no,
on
the nair.
And doesn't get the tech. JKsonic unfortunately going to lose that game. Cannon Red likely going back to the Sora and making it out with murder.
Yeah, this is looking not too great for Jonathan at the moment. But however, we can't. It's still not out of the picture.
It's not out of the water. Sure.
I think it's still possible for JK to claim the set overall. Also, please remember if you're in the chat, make sure you use exclamation point Kelby for some cool tips.
Oh yeah? Let me check this out.
Yeah, you can do it, Rafi.
Let me check this out. Exclamation point Kelby. Oh, I need some advice.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll get some really good tips.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait.
Oh, you got it.
Kelby sucks. DDD is a top 1 character in the game. No, it's funny. I was just talking to Master Byron, the other Pika over here, and he was talking about Fox, the DDD.
The DDD from DFW,
Yes. And apparently, according to him, he feels like there's so many matchups where he was saying like, oh, DDD wins them. It was like ages. He was saying DDD wins, and then it was like Min. Oh yeah, DDD wins that too.
I know. I remember on that list, Vapor was calling him out because he put like Gaming Watch as like +2 or something.
he said DDD like destroys Gaming Watch or something, which I think is hilarious to see. I would love to see Fox play that matchup because I don't watch enough.
I got to watch a little bit at Low Tier City. I watched him play against E-Dog and Vapor.
Oh yeah.
So that was exciting.
He lost to Vapor, right?
He beat E-Dog in pools, lost to Vapor in losers.
Right on. Okay, but going back to the set, that was such a. I thought he was dead for a second there.
Yeah, these noobs are so aggressive. Like Jonathan had a really good lead at the beginning, but the Sora just being able to push off really well. And
you see that spot he's just waiting in. Like just waiting right at the ledge, like a little bit underneath the ledge, because he knows if he tethers there, he's going to swing right down into that zone. And if he up-Bs, there's still a chance that he can catch him.
That being said, the pick of Hollow is not an overall horrible pick for Jonathan. I understand the reason he wants to go here, but it's still very devastating when you get
especially with that nair. JKsonic's not one to give up on these kind of sets. And the F tilt on the air dodge. Needs to get off this platform. Finds his way in with that F tilt, but it trades with the Thunder, the first Thundaga. Yep, he had a shield once again coming out. Not getting the grab. This time Cannon desperately waiting for the spot dodge.
A good up B on JKsonic to be able to get away from another
that
devastating
should be
nuke,
it.
and he's able to take that stock only at 31%. This can be doable still.
Oh, but another great starter, and the F tilt too, missing the tether, but does have his jump for that. Oh, the up B once again. I think a little bit of panic coming in from JKsonic, not wanting to lose.
Yeah.
Not wanting to be out of the tournament. He really wants to make this run.
This is a really big mentality thing, especially in this bad state. This is what I really feared about that Game 3. How that Game 4 is going to escalate to
my
a
God,
lot
that
more
up
panic
B.
options.
Right, and I mean, like I said at the very beginning, like he's a lot more familiar with the Puff and what's safe and what's not safe. But with the Sora, it's a little bit up in the air of what he can actually punish with that up B. That back air, not going to do it, or sorry, back throw, not going to do it. Doesn't find the edge guard either, manages to get out with the down tilt. A good escape tool from a lot of Richters, but you do have to be worried because that's like one of his only escape tools in the corner. So a lot of players are looking for that down tilt.
Beautiful holy water into the F smash and tries to go for a roll read, but does not get the interaction as that back throw is going to take it to Jonathan's final stock of the tournament potentially.
Catching the holy water and is going to hit Jonathan for 15.
That's going to
JKsonic really needs something here. Edge guard potential, doesn't catch the edge guard. Ooh, doesn't get the F smash. Instead the S dash from Chaz, and that jab just dragging him back down. It's really interesting combo from Cannon Red there, rather than like continuing the Nair loops. I don't know if that was intentional, to be honest. Like, might have just been a misinput. But that jab just dragging JKsonic back down. I said it is now last stock.
It is last stock. Jonathan's not fully out of it, but again, this is very scary as these nukes are getting closer and closer to getting the Nair 1, Nair 2 up smash, as Jonathan's already at 100%.
Back throw. You can hear the mass from JKsonic, but it's just not fast enough. Unfortunately,
He's trying to be as patient as possible. Goes for the holy water down, and the Blizzaga is going to connect. Sora's going to get a bunch of back airs off.
Doesn't going to hit, though. Isn't going to hit. Oh my goodness, I'm messing up my words already. This is so tense.
Yeah, I'm feeling really scared for Jonathan right now. Able to get those back airs off. Sora, I mean, with Rage, it is not out of the picture. We got to be very patient. Pushed up in the air.
Good to not up B there. I definitely think Cannon Red wanted the up B from JKsonic. He's trying to bait it out.
Definitely wants the up B. Oh, I don't like the bait here.
Away.
Tries to fish for back air. Blizzaga is going to be huge here.
Oh no, that lingers just long enough for Cannon Red to take it over JKsonic.
Cannon Red, everyone's least favorite player,
the
is
last
move
remaining
on into the tournament.
Oklahoman. Wow, Jazz. Oh.